Hey there, my name is Bree.
And I'm Suze.
We're the hosts of Crime and Spirits, a true crime and cocktail podcast. Do you love spooky stories and all things true crime?
How about themed cocktails? Do you love those too?
Well, that's perfect, because so do we.
Yeah, in fact, we love them so much, we made an entire podcast all about it.
Every week, we bring you a new episode that covers a different case or topic of interest, but first, we'll need drinks.
Don't you worry, we've got you covered there. Every week, we'll teach you how to make a handcrafted cocktail that ties into the theme or topic in some way.
So you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and pretty much every other platform available.
New episodes roll out every Sunday.
So buckle up
and sip tight.
We can't wait to talk some true crime with you. Bye!
Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
The following podcast discusses adult situations and gets very sweary. Sensitive ears beware. You're listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast, where the work stories are real, the laughs are contagious, and all of us can agree that work sucks.
Welcome back, fuckers, to the Fuck My Work Life podcast.
Hey, everybody. I'm Kay.
I'm Jay.
And we are back, baby.
Take 3.
Yeah, we tried recording this episode last night a few times.
Yeah.
Ran into multiple
technical difficulties.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this time we're good, though.
So hopefully we got it figured out and we'll get an episode recorded for y'all. It's been a minute. We took quite a long break. I don't think we intended it to be that long, but life just happens sometimes.
Yep.
So, Jay, have you been up to anything fun and interesting the past, June,
3 months?
3 months?
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Starting in the beginning of June, we went to Catalina.
Yeah.
So that was fun. We went parasailing. We drank.
Mm-hmm.
We ate. We walked. Yeah, that's about what there is to do on Catalina.
We played a lot of pool in a little dive bar.
Yeah, we did do that. That was fun.
The parasailing was a lot of fun. Nice little adventure. I was kind of bummed we didn't see any, sea creatures while we were up there.
I know.
We saw a bunch on the ferry ride over there. We saw whales and dolphins. And that was fucking cool. Yeah. Got to hang out with brother and sister-in-law who we don't get to see very often. It's been since before COVID. Since 2019 that we saw them. So good to hang out with them for a little while. And then we didn't gamble on Catalina because their big casino is not a fucking casino in that way.
Yeah, what is it? Would you say it was like a ballroom theater?
Yeah.
Some
a big
kind of shit like that?
Yeah.
We learned a new Italian word on the ferry out there.
Yeah, we did.
We learned that casino means a gathering of people in Italian.
Or so we were told.
And then our Italian sister-in-law said, "No, it doesn't."
That's not what it means.
That's not right.
You're stupid. So that was fun. That kicked off our summer, kind of, even though it was kind of chilly and overcast the entire time we were there. You had a birthday.
Yep. It was my birthday, the end of July. We had a pool party, barbecue. That was fun.
It was a lot of fun. And then most recently, which has kind of pushed us back, getting going on the podcast again, is our damn little dog had a scare, I guess. I don't know. She was not looking good, and we took her to the vet, and we thought they were going to tell us now her time's up. But they're like, no, she probably ate some fatty food and has pancreatitis. She should be fine.
Yeah.
In a week or so. And she's mostly okay now. This is about a month or so ago. A month ago.
Yeah.
She's just being a stubborn little twat about eating now.
She came out of this pancreatitis a fancy bitch. This bitch don't eat nothing but steak And, soon it's going to be like grains and vegetables and steak. That's, because everything else, all that processed shit, honey, I'm too fancy for that.
Dude, we tried everything. All the shit she was supposed to eat when she had her pancreatitis, which is very bland food because you have to let the pancreas chill out. She refused to fucking eat. We tried ground chicken with white rice. We tried cottage cheese. We tried fucking baby food, and she wanted none of it. So Jay and I, who, if you've listened to the show and you can't tell, are not children people, we decided as soon as we got together that we did not want kids, are on the floor feeding our dog baby food pretty much by force to get food in her stomach.
Like you feed a baby food with a spoon. We fed our dog baby food with a syringe.
Yep.
And sometimes a spoon and sometimes our hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I had my full-on hand just in her disgusting food, getting her to lick it off my fingers because that was the only way she would eat that day. Oh, gosh. And she's still being
crying
picky,
your eyes out.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that was, I know.
She's my girl.
I'm not making fun of you for it.
I know.
I just thought it was like a movie moment.
Like on the floor, just sobbing, trying to feed my
on the
dog.
floor, just like, please just fucking eat something. And she's like, yeah, I will, but it's got to come out of your hand. I put my face in that nasty shit, so you need to put your hand in it.
And then oh my God, we spent so much money on just different kinds of food to try to get her to eat. And we'd find one and she'd be like, oh, this is great. She'd gobble it up. And we're like, yes, finally. And then the next feeding time, she's like, I don't want this shit. I was like, oh,
yeah, I don't eat that shit.
5 or 6 different cans of dog food open at one time because she would like it once and then not again. I'm just like, oh, you stubborn.
And
stubborn little girl.
Here's something that kind of goes against, the title of our podcast. But there was a few people that we work with, a few really great people that we work with that were just bringing us food. Like, try this, try this, try this. This is what I fed mine when it was sick. And try this, it was very sweet.
Yeah.
And of course she was like, man, I don't eat that shit.
Except for the cat food. She wanted
the cat food. She was all about that.
Well, I mean, she does live with 3 cats. Maybe she thinks she's a cat. She's going a little senile because she's old. She's at least 16 if they guessed her age right when I adopted her. So she's very old. But she's still spunky. It's not like she's not eating and she's weak and lethargic and like, ready to go. She's spunky as shit still.
Oh, yeah.
She's just stubborn.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, this has been Dog Corner, everybody.
Yeah.
Dog Corner. So, yeah, but that's, like, I've been so stressed about that for the past month. So all of my energy has gone towards that. So podcasting was kind of at the back of my priority list.
Yeah.
What else? So in the themes of this podcast, an unexpected reduction in force at our job. We came out okay for now. But that's also been kind of an underlying stress since that happened like around a month ago. So yeah, that was just a weird, we came in on a Monday morning and by 9 o'clock, a large portion of the people we work with were no longer employed there. And they let the rest of us leave early so that those people could gather their things in peace. And so we went straight to the one bar that we knew that was on at 9 a.m. on a Monday morning and spent the entire day there drinking. That was the right thing to do.
Man, I tell you, I have not had that feeling in a long time. When I just went outside to go on a smoke break, I went out to the break area and one of the senior managers was out there with another employee who was also pretty high in the company. And the other employee, like a good friend of mine, looked at me and was like, well, I've been laid off. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And from that point on until we left, I was in a constant state of like fighting off a panic attack.
Yeah.
Just like fighting off a panic attack. I was like, fuck, if I lose my job, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do.
Yeah, we'd be fucked.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to live in California anymore.
No. And look who made a huge turnaround. I have been doing nothing since that day and before that day, you know, but trying to like prove
establish yourself.
like prove that I'm worth more than just sitting here doing this. Like anything they ask me to do, I'm like, yep, I'm on it. Yep, I'm on it.
Yeah, which you think would be the general feeling amongst the people that are still there, but it seems like no. A lot of them are just going on with just being
well,
lazy.
a lot of them have taken this as like, yeah, I kept my job, but this is a personal attack on me, and I can't fucking believe this shit. You know, there's still people who are like, just like they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. You know, and it's I think it's the world we live in a very entitled world now. You know, and it's not just like the younger people. There's older people who are they feel very entitled to everything.
Yeah, and it's crazy though, because there are a lot of people that had longevity there that were let go. And not necessarily people that they were hard workers. So the whole thing, there was no rhyme or reason to it, which I think is what's keeping most people on edge. Because it's like, well, fuck, dude, if they could let that person go, I could be next. So yeah, it's just been overall, it's been very stressful on all levels. And you know, when we get stressed, we drink
because we work.
That's right. Do you want to go first, Jay, and share what you're drinking?
I am, I'm going outside the box today because I pulled my Coors Light out of a box.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm drinking Coors Light.
No surprise there. I am about to open. I already had one White Claw, but I'm about to open my friend B, friend of the show B. She was on our was it our first season that she came on as a guest? Maybe second season? I don't know. She's been on the pod. I think the episode is called B is for Work Besties. And she went back to her hometown of Pittsburgh. And I watched her cat for her. So she brought me a local Pittsburgh brew. And apparently this brewery is gluten-free. So
oh my God, that's such a good beer.
Gluten-free. So this is Aurochs Brewing Company. And it's the Hazy IPA. And it's brewed with millet and quinoa. So right up my alley. It is 6.7% alcohol. And it says it's bold and juicy with dynamic fruit flavor and aroma. The hops used are lots of them, it says. So it sounds like it's going to be very hoppy, but it's a hazy IPA, so I'm hoping it's good. I'm going to try it. Hope you didn't do me wrong, B. It's not bad. It smells hoppier than it tastes. It's actually pretty smooth. It's actually not bad at all. Yeah, I like this. If you guys want to share what you're drinking, you can use the hashtag we drink because we work. Oh, you hear Ghost?
Yep.
Can you hear?
He wouldn't come in here.
Let's see if he comes in here. Oh, that was not a ghost. That's why he was yelling, because Poochie was at the door.
Oh.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Gluten-free beer.
You were just telling people if they want to tell us what beer they're drinking, they can tag us.
Yes.
And something. Do
the things. You can do that. Well, you can't do it on Threads because they don't really use hashtags there yet. I jumped ship from the social media site formerly known as Twitter because it became a shithole. So now we're on Threads and Instagram and TikTok. That's pretty much our most active places. So, I don't know. do whatever you do there if you're drinking.
Yep.
How's that for?
So I thought hashtags were big on Instagram. They're not big on Threads?
No,
Isn't
not
that
yet.
the same company?
It is. But so I think in the haste to stop it, in the haste to get a good alternative, because so many people were jumping ship. I don't think they were quite ready to launch it, but they were like, fuck it, let's launch it, because they got millions of people to sign up in the first couple days. So I think as it goes on, more features will be added, but it was pretty basic. So you can use a hashtag. It's not a search feature like it is on other social media sites. So it doesn't do anything right now.
Yeah, it's not gonna lead you to anything.
Right. So if you use that hashtag, we're not going to see it on Threads. So real quick, before we get into some workplace stories, we were guests. That's a weird word to say.
Guests.
Guests. So it just all kind of like smooshes together at the end. We were special guests on a few different podcasts over the break. We were on Casting Views with our buddy Dan, and we were talking about past lives and reincarnation, and that was a fun discussion to have. The Meatcast for their
that was
summer
fun.
Games. So we battled Mike in a game of, they would name a weird job and we would have to guess if it was real or fake. And I won. I love winning.
They set it up for you to win.
No, they do. How would they do that? Because they thought we were going to be a team, and I was like, no, I'm playing for myself. And then the last one, we were just recently on Gray's Tap Room with Tabby and Mike, talking about weird job stuff, and
they were all fun.
Yeah, we had a good time with all of them. It's always fun to hop onto somebody else's podcast where you don't have to do any of the editing or promoting. You just show up and have fun, and that's it.
You're telling me.
Yeah. You just show up and have fun every time.
That's right.
Life of a podcaster. Okay. So that's enough of shooting the shit and stuff. We've got a couple workplace stories for you. So do you wanna go ahead and read yours first?
Yeah, I'll read mine. But before I read mine, I want to let you know we've now made it twice as long as the other two recordings.
You're gonna jinx it.
No, there's no jinx in this.
We learned a lot last night. There was a lot of lessons learned.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Dalton.
Hi, Dalton.
Hi, Dalton. I'm actually friends with Slade, who y'all had on your first episode that y'all titled Roll Tide, Baby.
You think Dalton's from the South?
You think?
He's throwing lots of y'alls out there.
I mean, I tell you what, man, his fucking name's Dalton. That shit don't go above Arkansas.
Really? I feel like Dalton's a hoity-toity name. No offense, Dalton.
What?
Like I picture someone at the country club with their collar popped up and the sweater tied around their shoulders named Dalton. Maybe that's Dalton. Let us know, Dalton.
Yeah,
is that how you roll?
I mean, there are those people in the South.
Well, all of what was it, like the Duck Hunters? What was that show where they were just came off as burly rednecks? Were all rich, preppy fuckers before that show.
Yeah.
Any hoozle.
First off, I want to say I'm a big fan of y'all's podcast. Y'all have really been helping me get through the workday and helping me understand a little bit that sometimes the jobs I have not been as bad as others.
That's the whole point of this show.
That's right. On to a few of the stories, or at least a few of the highlights. A little background information is I have a degree in graphic design and communications, and it comes into play with the job for the story. I'm fresh out of college, and I'm given an opportunity to actually work in my field, which is very rare these days.
I mean, not even these days. I feel like it's always been rare.
No, I mean, I think in the 90s is when it kind of took a shit. Where, basically, if you didn't go to college to be an engineer, you might as well have gotten a fucking art degree because you're not going to work in your field.
Yeah.
In the 80s and 70s and stuff, you could, like, people were getting jobs in fields without those college educations. So the people with the college educations, you know, I don't know. I was around in the 80s, but only the end of the 70s. So
I wasn't looking at career opportunities in the 80s. I was just playing with my Barbies.
Naturally, as anyone would, I jumped at the opportunity. After about 2 years at the company, I was starting to be put in the spot where I could do more with them. So I was vinyl wrapping vehicles as well as designing the wraps. And to give you an idea, we had the city of Greenville, Alabama buy a used ambulance and they wanted to convert it to a SWAT truck.
I'm guessing just to look like a SWAT truck.
Well, I mean, those ambulances, you take all the shelves and everything out, like they're big.
They're big, but SWAT trucks aren't they like heavily, like, I don't know, bulletproof? Am I thinking tanks?
Well, I don't think Greenville, Alabama, they are. I think LA, New York City, Chicago.
Shit goes down everywhere in this country.
I know.
Shit gets real.
So we're taking this white ambulance with no graphics on it, wrapping it matte black with some of their wording on the side. Well, you know, the box on an ambulance is taller than the cab. So I asked my boss how we're going to get up there safely. He then tells me, oh, you use the scaffolding to get up, wrap it, and then you get down. So basically, you use a fucking ladder.
Mm-hmm.
I did just that, and I finished the passenger side easily, get down, move the scaffolding to the driver's side, and when I go to get down, I fall because the scaffolding has shot out from underneath my legs.
Oh, no.
I land on the right side of my body, and I ended up breaking my right ribs and was pretty much out of work for a little while after that.
Yeah, no shit. Do you own that wrapping company now?
That ain't how it works in Alabama.
Okay.
You just go on and get.
Go on, get. You just put some Bengay on them ribs and you get back to work.
That's right.
Rub it in some deer
Rub some
blood.
dirt on it. On the plus side, I did get to watch the security footage, and it was beautiful.
Oh, God.
Apparently, my coworker who was with me at the time said, all I heard was you say, fuck, only to see you laying on the ground on your side.
It's probably more like, fuck.
Yeah. I have a few other stories from my time working at Domino's after I was let go from the graphic design place. Those stories at Domino's range everywhere from being sexually assaulted all the way to being drug tested for making a Chick-fil-A pizza in the oven.
Okay. So did like the Chick-fil-A fillets go on the pizza?
I don't know.
We have to hear these stories. He sent us a couple more. I'll have to see if that one is included in there. Thank you, Dalton, for that. And thanks, Slade. Thanks, Slade, for telling Dalton about the show.
Yeah. My mind is just going to, a Chick-fil-A pizza. So are you making a biscuit? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Are you making a biscuit crust with Chick-fil-A nuggets on it and the sauce is the Chick-fil-A sauce? God damn, that sounds good. Like a biscuit crust?
You know what I want to make? Good. I want to make a pickle pizza.
I would eat that.
You had to think about it? I'd eat that.
No, I would eat it.
Welcome back to Judge Jordan. You know who it is.
Whoa, Matt. This isn't an episode. This is our promo.
Well, what's a promo?
It's to tell everybody about our podcast, Came with the Boys.
Oh, where you and I get together and talk about craft beer and combat sports and horror movies and whatever else is on our mind?
Yeah, from buckle to bell, we cover the best combat news in the biz.
Oh, yeah, we do that, don't we?
Yeah, every week.
Yeah, and you can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, and on YouTube. We're at GameWTB on all social media. So catch us out there and have a beer with us. Cheers.
All right, so this story comes to us from Ransom, and they're from the Ramblings of a Revenant Alien podcast. So make sure you go check that out.
Oh, dang.
This is what Ransom sent us. Here you go. I remembered another nutty summer job that I had. Housekeeping at an assisted center. Ooh, that's a lot of sounds. Housekeeping at an assisted care center. How me and the motley crew who did this job ever got it, I'll never know. Back in the early 2000s, after I graduated from high school, I did a couple of summer jobs that I'm very happy to say I don't ever expect to go back to. One was a single season stint. Dude, Ransom, you like your S's. One was a single season stint as a member of a housekeeping team at an assisted living center.
Ransom sent this in like, watch how I fucked them up. Watch how I fucked these people up.
You know they're going to be drinking while trying to read this. Funny enough, it was a friend of mine that I played football with in high school who somehow got connected to this gig, and to this day, I don't know how he got the hookup or why they'd hire us meatheads, but somehow there we were, cleaning surfaces, emptying trash bins, and doing a fair amount of joshing around, despite the environment. Mostly, it was just boring. This friend of mine told me that some days he would just ride the elevator until someone else got on and then head away like he was on his way to something.
Hey, you got to make yourself look busy.
That's fucking awesome. He found that as long as he looked like he was on assignment, he could go long stretches where no one would make him do anything. Personally, I never could just stand around counting minutes till the end of the workday, but to each their own. Yeah, like that would get real fucking boring real fast to just ride up and down the elevator. This is the early 2000s too, so like no smartphones, right? So you can't like just be sitting there on TikTok riding the elevator up and down.
Yeah, but also early 2000s, weed was not legal, so he probably had that element of like, fuck, if I get caught doing this, they're going to drug test me because they're going to know I'm high. Yeah,
so he can't have any fun on the elevator. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying he's doing this because there's that anticipation of like the excitement of
the danger.
Of, if I get caught doing this,
I'll just smoke some more weed. Okay.
Yeah, man.
The roughest parts were encountering accidents that a few of the old folks had on the carpet. We weren't actually allowed to clean those up, though. The nursing staff handled the biohazards. All in all, not a blast. But the other job I did for a few summers that I truly can't comprehend anyone making a career of was a moving guy / warehouse operator for a large, corporatized moving company. That job was a beast. Our day started with a 6:15 a.m. punch-in, after which we'd stand around in a waiting area made for probably 10 people when there was at least double that many moving guys and packing ladies. Moving and box packing duties were strictly separated by gender, which may not be progressive, but trust me, if you'd seen the moving guys I worked with coming to pack up your fine china, you'd be more than a little concerned. Yeah, dudes do not have that level of care for breakable shit. Just throw it all in a box. It'll be fine.
But fucking place got too many goddamn flowers on it. Nobody cares.
All them fucking glass knickknacks, just throw them all in a box. It took maybe 90 minutes of bleary-eyed waiting until assignments were passed out for the day. While the lady packing crews headed out, the guys would get picked as drivers, and then other guys would get selected to be on their moving team, after which you went to your truck, headed out for a fast food breakfast, then drove to the site to begin the move. If you didn't get picked for a team, you were stuck in the warehouse for the day, which didn't end until 5:30 p.m. at the earliest. Like what would you be doing in a moving company warehouse? Binding moving boxes together and shit? Like what the Ransom? Tell us.
It could be that
all the moving supplies?
Well, the moving supplies, but also like people move, and it's not like they kind of like a storage facility. People move, and you know, it's like those boxes that they drop on your driveway now. You know, like people move, and the movers come and take it to the warehouse, and then the other movers come when you're ready to have it moved to the other places and take it to where you're moving.
So you're like moving it in and out of trucks?
That's my best guess.
That seems real stupid.
It seems real stupid.
I was only half listening.
There you go.
This fucking gluten-free beer is strong, and Poochie's trying to drink it. Oh, Poochie.
Yeah, that's my girl.
We got a little drunk kitten in here. Don't drink the beer.
Yeah, Poochie's our kitten. She's feral.
She's a wild
All right, let's go
beast.
into 30 minutes about cats now. All right, so we got one cat.
All right. We should have like a little meow, 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 meow in like transition music where we just start talking about fucking cats again. And dogs. Okay. Both assignments had their share of hazards. Heading out into the field was more interesting and could nab you a good tip or some kind client offering you a cooler of Gatorades and all-you-can-eat snacks, but you also never knew what crazy or nasty item you might have to haul. Imagine picking up a couch to find an inch-thick layer of cat hair hanging off the bottom. That's probably what our couch looks like right now. Or lugging an expensive 9-foot-tall mahogany armoire down a large sweeping staircase with 3 or 4 grown men struggling not to drop this 5-figure piece. We didn't drop it, but the pressure, man.
Yeah.
Dude, moving sucks.
Yeah, it really fucking sucks.
Doing it every fucking day. I will say that the clients usually hired separate piano movers, but that didn't always work out in their favor. I heard about a baby grand ending up in a lake once. Holy shit. How does that happen? Do you remember that movie, Funny Farm with Chevy Chase? Where they like...
I do remember it, but Jesus Christ, I do, but I don't.
Yeah, so there was a thing, like, I vaguely remember, like, the movers took, like, weeks to get their shit to them, and by the time they got there, they were so pissed off because they'd gotten so lost that they just, like, dumped their shit. They just took the truck and dumped everything, and I think some shit ended up, like, in a lake or a pond. That's
do you
just
remember
what I'm imagining.
Do you remember the movie? I think it was called Moving, and it was in the 80s with Richard Pryor. It was a Richard Pryor movie.
Called Moving?
I think so. I don't know if that was the title of the movie, but it was basically Richard Pryor and his family were moving, and he had to deal with these fucking ghetto ass movers who did not give a fuck about anything, were late. It was pretty funny. I mean, all Richard Pryor movies were fucking hilarious.
Where's our movie podcast friends at? They're probably screaming at us like, the movie was this. Oh, there's Monkey talking to everyone again. Yep. Monkey missed you all. He's like, I need to talk to my podcast audience. I gotta find my place now. Okay, the baby grand in the lake. But what you really dreaded if you got sent out was a local move, where you had to load up the entire house, often 3 to 4 bedrooms. It was Virginia after all. Then drive to another house about an hour away and unload everything all before you drove all the way back to the warehouse and staggered home. Yeah, local moves are tough. They're worse because you're like, as a person who's moving, you're like, do I need to pack this shit? Can I just throw it in the car and drive it over to the new place? And then everything just ends up unorganized and stupid.
By the way, listeners, the name of the movie is Moving.
Oh,
from
it is?
1988.
Oh, yes. Wow. All right, back to the story. We just did a whole house move in one day. So they did everything, got back to the warehouse, and staggered home. We were out until 9 p.m., even midnight on occasion. Yes, we were. Overtime is nice, but not for that work at minimum wage, and there was no such thing as guaranteed turnaround time. You were back at it, dark and early the next morning, no matter what. Ugh, that's gross. The warehouse, however, okay, maybe we're going to find out what happened in the warehouse. The warehouse, however, was particularly unpleasant. There wasn't always enough to keep you busy, but when there was, it was delightful. You might say, be forklift fetching and unloading giant storage crates and loading the contents into 50-foot trailers. See, you were right.
Yeah.
These crates were... Fuck you. These crates were 10 feet tall, 6 feet wide, about 8 feet deep. We kept them in 3-story stacks. The place looked like the warehouse from the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't remember what that looks like. It's been so long since I've seen that
with a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Warehouse with a bunch of boxes.
Yeah. Yee. Alternatively, you might be unloading a truck's contents into these giant storage crates. Up to 25,000 pounds worth of furniture and property. That's about 25 of those crates. This means finding and bringing down empties, inventorying, that's a stupid word, inventorying the contents via stickers, making notes on damage, then packing them and stacking them, which could also take all day or longer. If you were particularly unlucky, you had to try and pull down these oddly shaped, very unstable sea boxes made of plywood. I saw at least one get dropped from about 20 feet up. That insurance claim must have been gnarly. So, all in all, not fun. 2 stories stand out from those wild summers. First, they let me, 18-year-old me, train on and drive a forklift. On my
Hell
first day,
yeah.
that probably led to some fun. On my first day at the wheel, I was backing up swiftly towards a 20-foot high door that led out onto a loading ramp, carrying a storage crate on the forks, dutifully watching over my shoulder to make sure the way was clear. Just one issue. I'd forgotten to lower the forks enough for the crate to clear the door's curtain. Literally at the very moment my supervisor was telling his boss how well I was doing, boom, the crate hit the curtain and tipped the entire forklift up onto its front wheels, which mercifully locked me in position and kept the box from falling. The boss rushed over and took the wheel to rectify the situation, then left with a dazed look on his face like, I don't get paid enough for this nonsense.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? I was just talking you up, you son of a bitch.
You little shit. My soup was pretty livid at how bad I'd made him look, yet somehow didn't take me off forklift duty. So there's that. And they probably saw that so many times. Just, you know, those things are like hard to like figure out, aren't they?
No.
I've never driven a forklift. I don't know.
For some, they might be hard to figure out. Once you're on them for a little bit, it's fine.
The giant dent in the garage door curtain stayed there almost the entire summer, a testament to my incompetence. I did get pretty good at the lift eventually, but yeah. The other story was an odiferous epiphany. That's a good phrase. Odiferous epiphany. We were unloading a series of crates onto a truck when we opened one in particular and got slammed with a scent strong enough to knock you out. We were all taking bets on what it was coming from. Dead skunk, rotten food, dirty diaper. Nope. It was a cat kennel full of dark green, God knows how old cat pee just sloshing around in there. At least it wasn't a dead cat. Needless to say, we didn't exactly have hazmat gear, but we still had to clean it out before it went on the truck. I forget which unlucky soul that fell to, or maybe I've just blocked it out. So these days, when I get snippy about my computer-driven writing work, I remember my days as a mover and think, yeah, this really isn't that bad. Take my advice, dear listeners. If you ever hire movers, tip them well and feed them. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. At least give them some cold waters, some snacks.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough to move for Jay, he'll give you some Coors.
That's right.
Some Coors. Thank you, Ransom, for your story.
Shit, the people who came and rebuilt our balcony, I gave them Coors.
Yeah, he was so timid about it, though. He was like, I probably shouldn't be drinking on the job. But yeah, I'll have a cerveza.
Yeah. It took one. Because I gave him the guy who was rebuilding the balcony. The balcony.
Yeah. The balcony?
I gave him 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 Coors I gave him. The first one, he was like, I don't know. You know, and so I was just like, I'll set it here. And he was like, okay. And then I went up there and the shit was empty. 10 minutes later, it was empty sitting on our balcony because he was just building the border of our balcony.
Yeah. But then he was out there using power tools and I was like, I'll cut a finger off.
Whatever. If you can't use power tools drunk, you shouldn't be able to use power tools, period.
Okay.
That's just...
We're going to put that on a t-shirt.
There's man speak.
Claiming it. That's going to be a t-shirt. You can't use power tools drunk. You can't use power tools.
Ever.
I don't remember exactly what you said, but I'll go back and I'll put it. Look for it on Teespring, everybody. Link in our bio to our merch store.
If you can't use power tools drunk, you can't use power tools at all.
Yeah. I'll just have like an outline drawing of Jay with a Coors.
And like
or just random
finger.
Dude. Random dude with fucking, I don't know, what's the dangerous with the sawzall?
Table saw.
Table saw.
Yeah, that table saw causes more digit accidents than anything.
Is that where you cut the tip of your finger off on?
No, that was a router. And I didn't cut the tip of my finger off. I just mangled the fuck out of it. And it was a router table.
I know. I think we told that story on the pod. Just, things are dangerous, okay?
Okay.
Things are dangerous, okay? Okay, so I came across this article while, just researching shit to talk about on the pod and whatnot. And this, I'm going to put, hi monkey, I'm going to put the link to the entire article in the show notes. I'm not quite sure what exactly the website is, but the link is resources.workable.com. I think the website is just like resources for employers. But anyhoozle, this is workplace
horror.
This fucking beer. Workplace horror stories we wish were not real. So we'll just read a couple of these little stories throughout the next few episodes. And they're just interesting little things. So you want to read the first one, Jay?
Yeah, I'll read it. When you must never, ever chicken out. A few years ago, I took a marketing position in a UK-based company. After a brief training, I realized that I had to carry a wooden sign in a supermarket every day and stand there and promote various products.
No.
There was no specific time schedule. I could stay there as long as I wanted, so long as I reached my sales goal.
Like, how is that tracked? How are they tracking your sales goal? Right, but if it's in a grocery store, just as long as whatever product you were assigned that day got...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, how is that...
Yeah. I was thinking it was like the people in Costco that have the food. People? Yeah, the sample people, but they also have the stuff sitting there. They have to have some sort of goal.
Right.
Like they have to have some sort of goal that the people pick up the stuff from them. Yeah, but they don't buy it directly from them.
Right. I was going to say, but they are employees of Costco. So Costco can be like, okay, we had these samples out this day from these times. This is how many of those products we sold within those hours. Whereas this is an outside company coming into a different supermarket and different products every day. Like, how the fuck are they tracking?
Anywho. At the end of the day, we would gather all at the company's offices. Our manager would step in while the speakers played the song Pretty Green Eyes at maximum volume. And then the show would begin. We would ring a bell and have a cheery round of applause for everyone who reached their goals. So they were tracking it.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah. But what about those who had almost reached them? We would form a circle, and that person would stand in the middle and act like a chicken, because apparently they chickened out instead of hitting their targets. Oh, and if anyone's phone rang in the middle of of this show, they immediately have to do 10 push-ups.
What the fuck kind of company is this? I'd be like, I am out. I don't care about my bills. I don't care about food. Fuck this.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think I told the story on the pod before, but I'm not sure. It kind of reminds me of when I got laid off from my corporate job and I was just doing like freelance shit, just trying to make money. any way I could. And there was a local company who was looking for people to do like couponing for them. And it was not even this organized. They didn't even really reach out to the grocery stores. They were just like, you're going to go to this grocery store, stand by our product, and hand out coupons for 2 hours.
I'm going to go outside this building. I'm going to put them in the garbage can, and I'm going to go home.
Oh my God. Like the managers were like, I guess so, sure. But then everyone else working there was like, what the fuck are you doing here? And like giving me shit. It was the most
Oh, so
awkward.
They didn't even reach out to the fucking grocery stores or anything?
No.
Wow. Yeah, that's fucking... that's
very awkward.
That is poorly led and poorly planned.
Yeah, it was shit. All right, the next one from this article is when your colleagues are toxic or think that you are. When I was working at an embassy, I had a colleague who was convinced I was a Russian spy. We sat across from each other, so I would often catch her looking at me from behind her laptop screen. She also wouldn't let me touch the mail or go into specific areas of the embassy. What the fuck? She wouldn't even accept food from me.
Oh, Jesus.
In fact, when my mother sent me cupcakes for my name day...
Oh, she's a Russian spy. That's birthday,
bitch. She demanded that they be x-rayed to see if there was anything inside. Who is fucking x-raying these cupcakes?
Get the fuck out of here.
Another time, a colleague asked me to make a copy of a visa applicant's ID. When she saw me in the copy room, she yelled, "I knew it!" and kept asking me where I found that ID and what I was doing with it. She was lucky that I saw the humor in all this. I even greeted her in Russian every morning.
Fucking A. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. That's Vidanya. That's Russian, right?
Yeah, but that's goodbye.
I don't care. That's the only Russian word I know. And privyet and spasiba. That's all I know.
God damn, what is good morning in Russian? I knew it at one time. Don't know it now.
Well,
here it is.
Our friend Batman taught us all the curse words.
Good morning.
Oh, that's okay, great.
Good morning.
That's very authentic.
Piece
of sheet.
I look forward to learning all your secrets while you answer phones, bitch.
Eat my cupcakes, you fucking bitch. On that note, thank you everybody for rejoining us as we launch.
Thanks for coming back, guys. I know it's been a while, but we miss you. We love you. And, all the other stuff.
All that shit. We've got some good guests coming up this season. We've already recorded a few episodes with guests.
Yeah.
I would say most of them are kind of unconventional for our guest episodes, but I still think they were really good conversations.
Yeah.
So keep tuned in for those. And we love you fuckers. Send us your stories. Send us your workplace stories.
Send us your stories. Otherwise, we'll just keep bullshitting about our cats and dogs.
Yeah, this is going to turn into a fucking pet podcast.
Whatever.
If we don't get work stories.
I mean, lately, our pets have been work.
That's very true. Very, very true. But we love them very much.
Very much.
And we love you fuckers.
We do.
Jay had to think about that. We do. All right. Peace out, fuckers.
Bye, fuckers.
Have a great work week.
Yeah. Don't stub your fucking toes on a desk.
Yeah. Avoid that.
Yeah, but I guess you'd have to be barefoot to do that. I'll think of something else. I'll think of something else by the next podcast.
Don't get a paper cut.
Yeah.
If you're not in a paperless office.
Never fall for the glory hole in the men's bathroom.
Wait, that happens in workplaces?
I don't know.
That was just dive bars and like rest stops.
Well, that's a workplace.
Is a rest stop a workplace? A dive bar, yes.
There's people selling cigarettes and beer at a rest stop. Are there? No, I guess there's not.
No.
It's vending machines.
There's vending machines.
Well,
at least the ones that I've been to.
There's other workers
Someone
at
has
rest
to come
stops.
clean the bathroom.
There's other workers at rest stops. They're usually on the other side of that glory hole.
Exactly.
So don't fall for that.
On that note, maybe this episode will be titled Glory Hole.
Yeah.
And the whole episode, people are going to be like, why?
Yeah, well, they got, Them rest stop workers got chipped teeth, man. It's just shit. Whew.
Dude, they got to make a living too, you know?
I know. All right.
All right, everybody. Love you.
Bye, fuckers.
Bye, fuckers.
Thanks for listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please consider rating us on your favorite podcast platform. We'd love to hear your workplace stories, so send them our way to fmwlpod@gmail.com or leave us a message at 310-818-3273. For more fun content, follow us on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram at FMWLPod. You can also chat with us and your fellow fuckers on our Discord channel. You can find all our links in the show notes. Until next time, bye fuckers.